Hello everyone, and hello Engineering 151 class, and this is Professor Mohsen Zadeh, and I'm going to create another solid model, and that is chapter 7. We're going to create a solid model for chapter 7 exercise 2. Okay, so we go chapter 7 exercise 2. Okay, and this again, we're going to create this solid model by using the extrusion on the front plane. Okay, we extrude placement define on the front plane, and then the orientation references is right. So this is good. So we're going to go sketch view. So we're going to create the we're going to start with a center line again. Okay, on Y and X axis. Oops, if your hand slip, so that you can just delete this and then repeat that again. Okay, all right, so we're gonna just do that. Next, I'm going to create a rectangle. Again, you have to make a decision what you want it to do. Okay, so I'm going to create a rectangle with a width of, let's make it symmetric first. Okay, make sure that it's symmetric. So this is two arrows is showing that this rectangle is symmetric with respect to y-axis. So the total dimension is going to be 216. Okay, 216, and the height is going to be 20. Okay, 20. Next, we're going to create another rectangle somewhere down below here. Do not use the equal length. Okay, all right, so now we're gonna trim as long as it's symmetric, and this measurement is supposed to be 102. Okay, 102, 102, and this is 20 plus 9, so a total, let me just go from this line to the base, it should be 29. Okay, 29. Okay, great. 29. So you can see that this is nicely done. Now let's trim this piece here, which we don't need it. Just since they're coinciding two lines, so you have to trim twice. Okay, all right, so that's correct. So this also should be 57, and we don't need to worry about this because it's symmetric. Okay, it says 57, so no need to put that in there. If you want, that's okay, because this line is equal to that line. Let me see if I can dimension this one here. It says 102. Since we have symmetric, no need to worry about the 57. Okay, so we're going to delete that, and I like to keep 102, and this is 57 plus 57 plus 102 gives you 216. Okay, so that's 20, and this is 29 from the top to the bottom. So, and then the what do we call that? The depth, when we extrude this, and the depth is going to be 102. Okay, 102. So we're going to just enter 102. That's a depth. Okay, so that's a depth of 102. And I think that's good enough. So we're going to do that. Now we're going to create the next feature on this face here. Okay, all right, so we're going to go to extrude, placement, define. We're going to click on that face, and you can see that the arrow is pointed that way. Let me click on this surface here and then click on top. Okay, top surface, top. So when you click on a sketch view, it's going to come towards you. Okay, so I've seen that the students that why my view is rotating, because you have to click on the surface and change the reference or orientation to top. All right, so we're going to just convert this to no hidden, and let me create a line. Okay, let me just put a center line in here. Okay, and let me put a reference line. Okay, let me see if I can create a line somewhere here, which is a symmetrical with respect to y-axis, and we're going to give that dimension is supposed to be 96 here. 96. Enter. And then we go shift and move it down a little bit with a middle click. Okay, so let me see if I can come up with references. I'm going to put a reference here, reference line there, solve, close. And this measurement should be 76 plus 38, 76 plus 38, oops, plus 38 plus 38. Okay, so that is, the total is 152. Okay, that's good. Okay, because we're going to put the fillet radius or fillet on that corner, which has a radius of 38. Okay, great. So I'm going to connect this corner to that point there, and then I'm going to have that corner to here, and then we're going to close the loop. Okay, so that's good enough, and the thickness is going to be, let me go back to the shading, and now that is right there, we're gonna go check, and the thickness should be the thickness is 20. I believe that thickness is 20. Okay, so so we go that we're gonna reverse this, and we say the thickness is 20. Okay, great. So that's cool. All right, so then we have that. Now we're gonna place on that line, we're gonna put a round. Okay, we're gonna put a round with a radius of 38. So we have that right there. I'm gonna say the radius is 38. Okay, 38. Enter. We repeat the same thing on this side here, so that's a 38 by 38. Look at, you see that when you put the fillet radius on the solid models, it's easier to control it. Okay, so that's what we have. Next, I'm going to create this feature here, which looks like a rib. I'm not gonna let me see, I'm gonna use the rib profile. Okay, all right, let's see what we can do is all right. No. Okay, I'm going to create this datum plane, and I will start by saying rib profile. Okay, or profile rib on this plane, and we say sketch view. That's wonderful. We're going to turn off the this here, and then I'm going to use the project line. Okay, I'm going to have a project line there, and we're going to have a line that is sticking up, is going up, I believe is a 15. Okay, we're going to use 15, and then let me just trim this. Okay, because we might forget, so I'm going to trim that, and there will be a line that goes from here to there. It's a 40, and we have to give a dimension of 40. Enter, and then we go to, from here we go to the left, and that should be 20. Okay, enter. Now we're going to connect this to there, and now we are done with all the measurement. Then we say check. Okay, make sure that you give a thickness of 20. Okay, 20. All right, so we got what we wanted. Okay, so that's right there, and this is okay. And next we're going to create a fillet radius on this corner here, and that curve is 30. Okay, let me just grab the round, and then we're gonna put the round in there, and that's not 38. Okay, when you're looking from the top view, that should be 30. We're gonna repeat the same thing on this corner here. Okay, and that's 30. and then we say we're done with that part. Okay, all right. So next we're gonna do the counter bore. Okay, we're gonna drop a counter bore on the. We're gonna create a counter bore on the top. All right. So we're gonna go to Hole Tools. I'm gonna drop it somewhere here, and the measurement with respect to X or this edge and this edge it should be 30 by 30. Okay. So I'm gonna put this against this edge, and this against this edge. There's two handles, okay, and that should be if you zoom it you can see that that should be 30. Enter, and this is also 30. Now we're gonna go to, so when we do that, then we can go to shape and then click on this symbol and counter bore, and the counter bore has the bore diameter is 38. Okay, the bore diameter is 38, and the thick, how deep that is 6. Okay, is 6, and then the size of the hole is 20. Okay, and then we can go to the next surface. So there we go. So we have our counter bore hole that is positioned nicely with respect to this edge is 30 and this is 30. So we can say check. Okay. Now we don't have to repeat the same thing on the other side. We're going to use the mirror command too, but turn the datum plane back on. Okay, we can just use this plane here. We go mirror, and then with respect to that plane, and we say, okay, check. Oops, it didn't work out. Okay, let me just go to model. If you did the middle mirror that didn't work, you just delete them. Okay, delete that. All right, so great, because this is the mouse is not working properly, so I'm having a tough time reducing that. Okay, now it's better. Okay, we can see it better. So let me just that is, we're gonna highlight that, and then we go to mirror, and then we're gonna click on that plane, and then we go check. So it's gonna drop this on the other side. Right, see that here? Beautiful. All right, so I think we're almost there. All right, then I have to create two features, one on this side, one on that side. Okay, let's just do this. We go extrude, placement, define, and it should be that should be, I believe, is a concentric. This is concentric with respect to the radius here. Okay, so if I right click and say reference here, if I define the center for that curve and then place a circle here, and that diameter is the diameter is 38. Okay, 38, almost there, 38, and then I'm going to check. Okay, I'm going to check, and let me just take a break a little bit. All right, so the how much is going to stick out? It's about I believe is let me see if I look at this dimension, it's about 20. Okay, let me see if I go 20. All right, so check that. I think is sticking out about 20 units. Okay, I believe so. Okay, let me just check one more time there, and okay, I think that's good enough. If the measurement is off, you can fix that. Okay, we're just I think that's what it is. All right, okay, then I'm going to say check. Next I'm going to create a hole, extrude, placement, define. I'm going to put a hole on that face, and then we can just change the shading to no hidden, so you can see that. I'm going to go to references, so we're going to define the center of that hole. We're going to place a circle right there with a diameter of 19. Okay, 19, and that goes all the way through. Okay, let me just go back to the shading, so you can see that if I go check and then we reverse that, and it goes intersect with all surfaces. Okay, beautiful. So we have this piece also design here. Um, if this is sticking too far, you just check the dimension. Maybe it's about maybe 10. Let me just go back to this one, not that one, this extrude. We can edit definition. Maybe I'm going to change that to 10. Let's see how far. Maybe that looks better. Okay, that looks better. All right, so I think that's what it is. All right, okay. So now that we have this here, we can just mirror that with respect to that, and then we say check, but then we're gonna just highlight this hole, and then okay, let me see if I can highlight that hole. Where is it? Where is it? This here? Okay, yeah. And then we go mirror, and then with respect to this plane, and we say check, so we got the hole also drill on that face. Okay, all right, so I think this is the end of this solid models. Let's see if we wanted to maybe render it a little bit. Okay, and that's what we have, and then we go to render, and then just come up with um, a red. I like maybe red color that is going to show that face, and then we have the blue, and those are that. Okay, on the top face, or maybe we can just use that also to the top view and the portion of this here, uh, or maybe I should not do that because I want you to see. Oops, okay, let me see if I can just maybe use green to just highlight this one so you can see that the curve. Okay, all right, beautiful. And then we have the face. Let's see if the face, it looks like that. Okay, and this portion here, if we go to that plus this corner, oops, it's the same thing, but let's just pick a different color. Okay, yellow maybe there, control there. Okay, so that's cool. That's good enough. Okay, so that's the end of chapter 7, exercise 2. Okay, good luck.